Hi everyone. The previous video I did a video tag to video response to the Hermit's Cave, my 2020 vision, but I haven't. Well, I got the general theme of next year. I haven't do something like what I'm showing you in front. This is a year ahead spread I did for 2019. And what you see, my method is such that I use the usual 3 card spread, the situation as the overall theme, the obstacle, the main obstacle that I will be facing, and the advice. And adding to that, I took 1 card each for each month in 2019 to represent the general energy and what I can look out for. Well, the thing about predictive reading is for myself, I have no if people ask me for predictive reading for them, I will do it for them. But when it comes to myself, I am a bit more reserved with regard to that because I'm a pretty fatalistic person. Even while knowing that the we have free will and we have the power to change our future, I wherever I do such predictive reading for myself, I get very scared. Um, Scared that bad things will show in the card, and that's what not what well, we can't control our life. Life is not all sunshine and flowers and rainbows. Just that if we know um if we know something bad is going to happen, for myself, it's still pretty difficult to feel happy about it. So when I did this spread for 2019, what I did is I just looked through and try to decipher what it may mean, and I just leave it be. I took a picture and I just leave it be to and every month I will periodically look at the card for that month and wonder if this thing has come to pass. So maybe I share with you what I saw for 2019 and what I can remember that of the whole 2019 that is more obvious within the card here, and then I will do a 12 card spread for 2020 to possibly see a general theme for my life next year too. Yeah. So coming back to the spread, the situation or the overall theme for 2019 was presented by the full card, and by that I thought it might mean something like not to be afraid to try new things. And so in 2019 I really did try new things, such as going on a holiday with people online. That means they are not my friends or acquaintance in any way. It's just a meetup group, and they will post things on the forum and ask like, I'm going to this place, would you be interested? And I responded. So that was one. And also I went to places other than my usual trips, I try to go to places that I will not have thought to do so. And like if when my colleague asked me if I would like to join him to go to this private island, I just said yes immediately. Previously this would never have happened, but I keep remembering the full card, and so I took the lead, took the chance, took the faith, that everything, if even if I'm afraid to try, I will still take the chance. And what happened for me this year, the most important thing was that there was a restructuring within my company, and I it we got notice we were notified about this earlier in the year. So so somewhere around the early part of the year, I believe this two of swords will have represented my mindset to want to change department or change the office. And is you cannot see it over here, but for the card representing June, it was the death card. So I mean, the message of death is quite obvious. I mean, when people say it, they will usually think of a big change. So when I saw this card for June, I thought that it will mean a big change. But what kind of change? So around the month of April, I was given the choice to change department, and having a feeling that this will happen in June, and I remembered that June was represented by the death card. I took the plunge and changed office and department. The thing about my 2019 cards were that I do not really see a general theme happening, just that there's pretty much a lot of ups and downs. So for example, there's quite some mirroring of cards in a certain way. For example, in July the sun is reversed, and September it was the moon reversed this time. So I do not take notes, so I couldn't remember what happened. But it was only until in November that I look at this card here, the Nine of Swords reversed, and I remember that it was around in April, the middle of the April, where I went for wisdom tooth extraction. And wisdom tooth extraction, to say the least, was nightmarish. My dentist had advised me to put on braces for a very long time, maybe more than 10 years, but I didn't want to think about it. But it was this year that I start to take the idea seriously, after I found my gums being being damaged by the way I brush my teeth because of the uneven teeth. And so I went for a wisdom tooth extraction here, and it was, like I said, it was pretty nightmarish. And when the tooth was chipped off, I can hear the sound within my skull, the kind of like echoing in my skull. And I take that to mean that I have faced my nightmares, which is what the Nine of Swords will probably represent. And in October, what I think that this Five of Pentacles reverse will be something to do with my money matters, cause in the obstacle spread for this 2019, there's probably some kind of wasteful. The way I spend my money is pretty wasteful, which is kind of expected, considering that full or like trying out new things, the card is here. A lot of new experience, you need a lot more money, right? So in the month of October, I was given the opportunity to coach a friend in tarot reading, and she was very nice and paid me quite a lot for each lesson, which is also a new experience, the full card. But then as a Five of Pentacles or Five of this reverse, I take that to mean that I did not have to worry about money for the month of October. Okay, so you will not be able to see every card because the screen is my desk is a bit compromise. So but this is generally what I see for 2019 that has come to pass, and most probably I will still do a bit more thinking about the cards that appear to reflect on what has happened, what might this each card possibly means, since every card is not just a few meanings by itself but a lot more. And I would also think if, for example, in the death card, it is it because destiny or fate has seen that I will make the change, so this card appear, or is it the other way around, that I seize the chance to change, and thus as I use this as a reminder to myself. Yeah. So now I will now do a kind of a live reading, 12 cards for the year 2020. I hope that nothing bad comes out. I'm a worrier. So the deck that I will be using is my first tarot deck. It is made by, I believe I showed this in my channel, some video earlier, very early in my channel, but I thought that it will be a good time for them to appear, and so now I will do the reading. Let me clear up. Let me check the cards if it has. I'm not sure if I shuffle them well. Because I haven't used this deck in a long while. Okay, seems like it has been shuffled well. Okay, so let's look. From the first glance, I see that there's a lot of wands, and a lot of wands, followed by pentacles. with regard to swords and cups, there's not a lot. So I'll think that next year will be something relating to drive, to passion. The Hierophant reverse appeared in my 2020 vision with Simon's video response. So to have it appear here is a reminder for me to apply the way it was read in that spread over here. I cannot remember what I said actually, so I'll just leave it here and make a mental note. So seeing the wands, 9 of wands, 8 of wands, 5 of wands, and 6 of wands, it's a consecutive number. So I would presume that this month will be the month where the story continues, so to speak. And the start of the story will be something to do with how I am conflicted, cause 9 of wands in the Rider-Waite-Smith, it has to do the person has a bandaged head, and in the Thoth deck, there's the picture is of the sun and the moon together, and as a card for wands, it's a pretty heavy number, 9. So I would say that January will probably be a busy month for me, and in February probably I wasn't very well equipped to to deal with whatever has happened in January, and so possibly in February I will need to buck up, to not be complacent. And 4 of Cups in reverse in March possibly means that I have understand the lesson in February. I'm moving forward and not being all cooped out. What's interesting is that April and May is represented by the number 5 of swords, as I will leave this card here. Since the number 5 is being emphasized here, I would hope it is not some kind of struggle happening, especially when it comes to the Hierophant reverse. Is it a way for me to show my unconventional way of being, or is it somebody forcing me to adhere to the rules and putting me in my place? Well, for June and July, maybe not much of an activity. Pretty quiet month for me. Page of Pentacles. This is Page of Pentacles. I have always thought of, if I were to look just at the picture itself, I will always think that it's a swords, one of the cards from the sword suit. And another 5 card here. So I hope it's not fighting cause the previous time I put 5 of wands, I got into fights with people. So this is a good way to remind myself not to be too hot-headed, unless it's for good reasons. To have them side by side, maybe this month will still be another month of fights for me, continuing on the story from here and being reversed in I might not have gone to the next step. Page of Wands reverse in October. And then Justice reverse. Whoa. I hope that, nobody try to put me in my place and not acknowledge what I have done. December will be a Ace of Pentacles reverse. So let's see what's going to happen. Thanks.